Friends, I'm going to give you an update on my metal detecting from yesterday, the status of the little silver-toned mandolin, and the outcome of our jam last night. I'm going to keep it kind of short because yesterday's was very long, but if you're interested in hearing about that, well then stick around right after this. Hello my friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa String Works Workshop. Today is Wednesday, October 5th. We had a wonderful jam last night at Dickey's Barbecue. We practiced mostly gospel music because we're getting ready to play a gospel show at the Macedonia Baptist Church in Rolla, Missouri. It's just slightly north of Rolla there on 63. So if you're able to attend it, we'd love to have you come. That's going to be on Sunday, October 30th at 6 p.m. So be sure to come to that if you can. We'll have a really good gospel music show there at the Macedonia Baptist Church. The crowd was not real big last night, at least our usual crowd was not very big, but the restaurant did a pretty good business last night, and the people that were just there in random seemed to really love the music and came by and told us so, and so it was a good time. The first thing I want to mention in the order of music business is tomorrow morning we're going to have a shop talk. Yeah, that's Thursday rather than Friday. So tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. we'll have our shop talk moved up from Friday, and the reason I'm moving it up from Friday is that on Friday morning I'll be leaving to go out to Ohio to see my grandsons. So if you have topics of interest for tomorrow morning's shop talk, be sure to put those in the comments of today's video and I'll address those. I do have a number of comments or questions from the previous shop talk that I'm going to carry over to tomorrow morning and try to answer those in the morning. Yesterday's metal detecting wasn't really my best day of metal detecting. Using that new little coil was very helpful though. I could tell that I could isolate the signals much better, but I did dig a lot of trash that I might not have otherwise dug, and that's primarily getting used to the coil and the signal that it's giving. And if you know anything about metal detecting, it's not a black and white science exactly. I mean, it sort of is and it sort of isn't. If you dig every signal, you're going to be digging a lot of trash. So you have to learn how to discern the difference in the signals. And when you get a new coil like that, it's going to react a little different than the previous coil. A lot of times it would say it's a coin signal, and so I dig down and it'd be a piece of trash. Here's my first example of that. Now I dug down with that little bitty coil. This was 8 inches down, very deep, and it's an old escutcheon. And I'll try to get it up close where you can see the detail in that. There's a lot of detail in it, and I believe it's brass. I didn't actually scratch it off. If it's not brass, it's like a pewter or something. I'll scratch the inside here with the wire brush and see. Well, it doesn't look like brass right now, but so it's probably some sort of a pewter, or maybe it's some more of that nickel silver. You never know. It's something that doesn't seem to deteriorate much in the ground. Anyway, it's just a little escutcheon that may have went around a real, like a decorative doorknob or a cabinet knob or something like that. Could have gone around something else, but anyway, it's just some little decorative piece that would have been on some old furniture or perhaps even on a small cabinet door, something like that. So it's kind of neat to find it, but this kind of gave a money signal, and I'm looking for old coins, and so I dug down 8 inches. After I got past the point where I thought it should be for money, if you don't understand what the signal on the metal detector tells you how far the money is down if you're looking for a money signal, and it says maybe it's 4 inches down. Well, if you go below 4 inches and you haven't found it, then more than likely you're digging trash, or something other than money. And so once I got down below wherever it said, I think 4 or 5 inches, well then I could say I was pretty sure it wasn't going to be a coin. And I was right, it wasn't a coin. So you have to learn how to understand the signal you're getting. Here's another little trinket that I thought was kind of cool. I found, a crescent wrench or adjustable wrench. Look how tiny that is. Very tiny. And I think it'll work. I haven't tried to clean it up yet, so I have a feeling it will work. It was made in Taiwan. It's not anything spectacular, but these kinds of things are sort of handy to have here on the workbench, because a lot of times you'll have a little tiny nut or something that needs to come loose, and rather than go running and find a proper wrench, you can just put this on there and turn it loose. So I actually do have one similar to this on the bench here somewhere. The only other thing besides coins that I found was the key to your heart. Just a little key. And then I found a couple of pennies, a modern penny, which you can tell is absolute trash. And then I found an old penny here. I haven't actually looked at the date on this yet, so I'm going to look at that right now. Well, I said I found the 2 pennies. I actually found 3. Found the modern piece of junk, and then I found these 2 old ones. And they both appear to be from the 40s. This one, I can't really read the date on it very well. It's either the 30s or 40s on this one, and this one is 44, I believe. So like wartime type pennies. Then I did find 2 quarters. I found these at the end of my session. At least I left on a high note. When you start finding quarters, it's kind of worth digging those, if you find enough of them, especially. But really, I'm looking for really old money. I know there's got to be some very, very old coinage here. I'm looking for stuff back in the 1800s. I really haven't. I think I did find one coin from back in the 1800s here, and I think it was like an Indian head penny. But most of the stuff I find is very early 1900s. So I know there's got to be more here, and I know there's got to be a gold coin somewhere. There's just almost got to be. When you figure that I have deeds on this place back to the 1850s, and gold coinage was, fairly common back then. And so anyway, I'm looking for that. That's what I'm looking for. And it's kind of a futile search. And some people say, well, you can make more money doing XYZ. Well, you can make more money, doing XYZ than playing golf too, or fishing and with catch release. You know what I'm saying? It's just a hobby. It's just something fun that I enjoy doing. Okay, moving on to the status of the mandolin. Because I had my Christmas time yesterday with my metal detector, I didn't do anything on the mandolin. So that's the status. I'll try to get to it today, now that I've kind of wore off the new metal detector coil. The only other random bit of music news was that Leon reiterated last night that he loves his guitar after that fix that we did to it. I think I will need to make an adjustment on a saddle. I think the saddle might still be a little higher than he was wanting. Probably need to drop it down about 10 thousandths or so at the 12th fret. I left it a little bit on the high side because I know he plays pretty hard, and just wanted to make sure it didn't buzz. You can always go lower. Going higher is much more difficult. So whenever he gives me the guitar, I'll make that adjustment. It's very simple to do. Well, that's going to be about it for today. A quick reminder that we'll have the shop talk first thing in the morning, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Be sure to put your comments or questions in today's video, and I will address those tomorrow. I hope you can tune in with me. We'll see you then.